In this lesson, let's cover callouts. So I'm going to pull up a document. How do we do that again? We use the item ID, the trial exhibit number, the exhibit number, or the common name. We could also use a workbook, but we're going to use one of the aliases. We can also use a patent alias, like a footnote, or a table that we have classified over in one of our patent or expert reports explorer. So I'm going to type in 1, enter. That should bring up my exhibit 1, page 1. So here's exhibit 1, page 1. We see at the top it's exhibit 1. Let's do a call out. Now these behave differently than an annotation. So that's why we're kind of doing them separately. So that way in our mind, we kind of box it up separately. So I have one call out down here on my toolbar. It's the projection zoom, probably one of the more common ones. So I'm going to select it and then select the text I want to zoom in. I'm going to draw a box here. And then I have my text. It's projected out, right? We see the projections on the side. Now, what if we don't want it here in the middle? We want to do some more, or we want to call out some more information that's behind it. We can always drag and drop this. So I'm going to select it and drag it to the top. I can call out more if I wanted to down here. I could drag it wherever I want. Now, what if we need to resize it? We can do that too. What if we cropped it and we need to crop a little bit more, a little bit less? Maybe we want this a little bit less. I can come over to the bottom right-hand side of the call out and crop in or crop out. What if I just need it resized? If I hold down Control and use that crop in, crop out tool, I can resize it. If I hold down Shift, I can change the aspect ratio of it. So I get to change the size and I also get to change the aspect ratio of it. It's just Control. It maintains the aspect ratio. I just control whether it's bigger or smaller. So if you did a call out and it looks like this sometimes where it's just too big, we can hold down Control, right side of that call out, and make it a little bit bigger. All of our annotations can go on these call outs. So if I wanted to do a highlight here, I can do highlights here, I can do lines, I can do ellipses, whatever I need to do, I can do all of those call outs. When I'm ready to take these off or I'm ready to go into the next line of questioning, how do I get these off? I could use the remover tool. Nope, that doesn't work. How do I get these off? So I'm going to use the clear tool as the pointer and I'm going to double click and that takes away the call out, a double click, right? So with annotations, we use the remover tool. Double click doesn't work, but the callouts double click works. What other callouts do we have? We're going to go over to this little icon guy over here that we skipped over in annotation. So select callout zoom type. So we have our zoom region. I'm going to draw over some text here, and it's just going to zoom in on that region that I drew a box over so you don't see the rest of the document. Again, you can use all of your annotation tools here. And then when you're ready, you don't want this anymore, clear tools, double click, and gets you out. Our projection zoom with red instead of blue. So instead of a blue outline, it's a red outline, but same thing. Double click to remove. We have a more capsulated call out, so it's more rounded on the corners. Same tools, just go over to the bottom right hand side if you need to crop in, crop out, or resize. Double click to remove. We have a tear out as well, so if you want it to look like you're tearing it out of the newspaper or something like that, but the jagged edges, you can have that as well. What else do we have? We have a signature compare. So I'm going to split my screen. I'm going to have two documents up at the same time. So give me 1 second and we'll pull one document over to one side and another document to another. I'm going to pull that one. Pull up a document there. And then I believe on the second page of each of these, which it's the same document, we have a signature. It doesn't need to be on a signature. It can be on anything. It's just called a signature compare tool, so we'll use it on a signature. So we're going to draw a box over the signature, and then we can take that box and drag it anywhere. So I'm going to drag it over to the other one, and I'm going to lay it right on top. And then we can talk about, okay, well, clearly this was a macro, right? Do you use macros? No, I don't. Well, then how come it lays over perfectly, right? So you can do some impeachment, you can do some questioning on it. You can put two signatures side by side and say, this doesn't look like your signature, or this is very close to your signature, whatever the case may be. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a signature. It can literally be anything. It can even be an image if you want it to. Double click to remove on that. The last one is a scrolling highlight. So let me get back to my main screen. Oops. Just wants to stay in one. I'll go this way. Sometimes when we have Captivate on, it doesn't like this. Okay, so let's just move it this way. So we've got our document in the middle, and we're going to use our scrolling highlight. That's the last one here. We're going to draw a box over some text. Everything else is going to be grayed out except for that box. It does not magnify it. It just simply illuminates it. And then as we scroll, it maintains that location, right? Not changing it. It's not staying with the text. This works really well for dense text. Also works really well for an Excel spreadsheet, right? You do a particular row and then you start scrolling. You can highlight those rows a little bit better, illuminate those rows a little bit better, as well as dense text if you need to keep on track with there. Double click to remove. Those are our projections and callouts. Thank you so much for attending.